Hey everybody, doing a video still on the disc brakes here, the wheel studs. These are the longer ones. Going with disc brakes rear, obviously. This is the driver backside, and what they gave me was these guys right here. So with this is not gonna work. I mean, the length is great, don't get me wrong, but the knurl, I guess that's what they call this right here. If you measure this, the original knurl, as you can tell, the big difference is like 0.472. The next one over is 0.475-ish or something. So these actually work. These you can get at NAPA auto parts store, and here's the part number right there. So that will work, and I was so impressed. All this research, right? You see the 7/16 20, that is what you want for obviously your thread and so on and so on. But if you're not gonna go with this, or you don't have a store that is a NAPA auto parts store, maybe you want to look this part up and cross-reference, because what you're looking for is here is 1.5 in length. This guy is 1 3/4 in length. So big difference, right? When I put these in with my disc brakes and this particular wheel over there, you see that one right there, I was maybe getting about that much, if that, and that's not good. Look at how much was being eaten up by this guy and the wheel. And now look how much more I have available right here. And once I put the wheel on, I can put these guys on, and I'm gonna get quite a bit. So I'd also recommend, if you're gonna go this route, get a thread cleaner. Clean out the lug nuts with the thread cleaner, right? And go with a much bigger, a longer stud that you're gonna able to grab. And then keep in mind too, I mean, depending on your wheel size and here the rotor is, you can always cut these off, you know. Only recommend those that know how, you know, but you can do it, you can figure it out. You're gonna end up getting a much better result. So it's one of those things where you want to not go with the original studs unless you're not looking to upgrade your disc brakes and looking to have custom wheels, and you gotta go with this longer guy. All right, this that they send you with the kit, and this is CPP right here. These are the big brakes. This is, I think, with just one piston in the back. I have 2 pistons for the front up there, and I'll show you what the wheel looks like. And in one of my other videos, you'll see that the wheel, or the size of wheel, right? So take a look at that. That's the front here. And just, you know, to give you again what size this is for those that want to know, right? There it is. Unless I'm looking at the wrong thing, my apologies. Let's take a look. There we go. It is a little upside down, sorry, but there it is. 245 35Z R20. That's what these are right here. So if you want that, and this, keep in mind, this is with a 2-inch drop spindle that I put on. These are stock springs. So I got stock coils, sorry, and stock shocks, and just a 2-inch drop. So that's what that did here. It will rub back there a little bit. So that is the part that's kind of annoying when I do the full turn, but I try not to. I try to take maybe kind of a wider turn in order to not have to rub. But other than that, that's how that sits there. I did go ahead and do the upper and lower ball joints because they got trashed. So I got the new upper, lower, and outer tie rod. This tie rod was the worst, and I did the other side as well. That tie rod was actually good, and I left it at, I didn't leave it. I changed it. I figured I'm doing both, I might as well do both. And then something I'm doing at a much later time. So this is something I hate doing, and I never do, and I'm hoping it actually worked out. I've only turned the car on a couple times, but I'll show you what I did over here. So this fuel pump, I had some bolts, the bottom lower bolts, you can't see them here, but they were stripped and they broke off. And so what I did was I took a new plate, took out the fuel pump out, obviously. I then JB welded, the high temp JB weld, the bottom part. So I drilled out as much as I could. I couldn't, it's just so hard with this. There's not much space. And when I put the bit to take the broken stud out, that bit broke. So yeah, go figure. And I couldn't get that out. So then I drilled it out, made a bigger hole, and it was going to shit. And then on this side, this had a small broken stud in there. So I cleaned it out. I was able to get that out. But then I just figured, you know what? F this. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up as good as possible. Get the plate, JB weld the bottom part of it, and then above that JB weld, put the gasket maker above that, and then use these 2 bolts without the fuel pump and hold it in place. And so then once I put that in, I filled in the holes with the JB weld, and then just let it cure overnight. Pushed it in, had it pressed a little bit, not a whole lot. Made sure that the gasket maker was all the way around above that. I didn't want to mix the gasket maker and the JB weld, so that's what I did. I made sure that there was that little lip, if you guys know, in the bottom, that little metal, there's just a small amount of piece, and I put the JB weld there and so then just above the inside of this guy, put the Mr. Gasket. So then what I did is I let that sit for a day. Came back, it hardened up, felt solid. So with my finger, I went inside and put Mr. Gasket along the inside of that to double check and make sure, right? So I did that all the way around from the bottom because of the oil. Put that in. So far, after turning it on a couple times, it's been doing pretty good. Hasn't leaked. But then again, it's not until I do the real test run, right, when I'm ready to get out there and put it through the heat and stuff. This is only temporary. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. I'm only doing this because eventually I will go to an LS engine, so I kind of don't give a shit about that part right there. And eventually I'll trade this out, go a little modern for that. All right, everyone. Hopefully those studs help. You can put those same studs in the front. I have new studs in the front, and they work amazingly, so they're great. It's the back that didn't have the length that I needed for those lug nuts to catch on. All right, have a good one. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll put that part number on the description, and you'll be able to go ahead and see if it works out for you. All right, thank you.